What's up, everybody? How we doing? Friday night hangout. Only a couple minutes late, so we're doing good, personally. But how are you guys doing? Let me know where you're listening from. As always, give as many shout-outs as possible. See everybody already in the chat. Jay Fox, welcome to the Let's Run It membership tier. And by the way, I mean, you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and start actually that way? That's a perfect time. Jay, welcome. Any member, automatically, you guys know you get access to the ticket giveaway, specifically, exclusively for members. But why not? Let's just go ahead and give away 5 of those off the top, because Jay started it out by, joining on as a member. So David Moore, there's one. Marcus Dudley, one. Kramer gets a membership, and Doug and Bird Tuttle. Congratulations, you 5 have become members of the Philly Special Show, and therefore have access to the chance for a ticket giveaway, which is the end of the month. Last Friday of the month, hangout live stream. Speaking of giveaways, though, we do have the Eagles jersey of your choice giveaway, which was the, 2 videos ago, I believe. They kind of all blend together. But we'll be doing that later in the stream, so stay tuned. You do not have to be present to win it, of course, but, it's kind of cool if you are on the live stream. Some would say that you have maybe less of a chance if you're hanging out, because we only had it happen like one time, but it has happened. As I said, though, Jay, Shaq, Philly on top, Frank from Philly, IBH, Philly 420 at Anish, One Red Scorpion, Andrew Meyer, the K-Dude, Tracy Ann, Cheesesteak, Nina Alston, Joe Masasi. Hopefully I said that name. I bet I didn't get that right, but sorry. Let's see. I already got the membership shout-outs. Low-Key, Rocksteady, Joel G, Retro Jones, Adrian, Christian, Eagle Nation, David Moore, and David Ertz. What's up? I'm doing well. Very blessed. We got a Friday. And there he is, Anthony DeVonta himself. Good evening, everyone. Shout out to Anthony. Anthony's working around the clock. Had a blast recording. It had been too long. People had been requesting Anthony, of course, because why would we want Anthony to get on a recording? But it had been way too long. And he was more than willing, thankfully. So, Anthony, appreciate that. Also, Anthony gave me a great recommendation for show. If you're looking for a show to watch, The Penguin, I would highly recommend. I was maybe late to the game on that for a lot of you, but finally gave it a shot and could not believe that Colin Farrell is actually the Penguin. I don't know. I'm still in a little bit of disbelief, but anyway, just for a random show. That's getting off on a tangent here. We got Eagles hangout, news to get into, everything else. Let's see. Philly Freak, Haven Benjamin, Money, Libby, John, YTS, Derek. I think got just about everybody. What's up? How we doing? Hit the like button if you don't mind. Appreciate that. Speaking of giveaway, I got to get this shout out as well. Very quickly, of course, to the official sponsor of the channel, Underdog being the official sponsor. But the reason that, of course, we do all the giveaways, and I do all the giveaways, is thanks to Underdog and their support. Which if you have not signed up already, then go ahead and use the code Philly Special, and it'll get you up to $1,000 in bonus cash. And all you got to do is pick 2. Win a pick 2 of any sort. There's a couple great ones that I'll mention on the show that I post tomorrow. But there's a decent amount of those to like. I will say that. So if you get a chance and you're interested, feel free to sign up. Also, for those in Philly, Pennsylvania as a whole, they actually do offer draft games. So I've played a couple of those. If you're interested, you can't do the pick 'em yet. They are working on it. But as far as, kind of the weekly draft leagues, and I'm, I guess, proud to say that I won the first one last week, so it worked out so well. Probably beginner's luck, but nonetheless, you can actually still play. It's just not the full offerings for Philly quite yet. But appreciate Underdog because the jersey that will be given away, shout out to them for that. Also, the Saquon Barkley helmet back there, that is the autographed Saquon Barkley helmet. We'll be giving that one away eventually. Not yet, though. We can have pump the brakes for now. We did also pass 77,000 subscribers on the channel, so shout out to you guys. Y'all are the best. You already know that. But amazing that we've even gotten there. So let's start out with the injury news, because good news. mask on or off. I appreciate that. I guess the camera is flawless. If you like the camera, that's great. We had to upgrade after the 5-year-old camera, so thank you. It's a Sony A47. I always get it mixed up. But, all right, off the bat, good news, right? We're coming off the bye week. We had to have good news. Staying optimistic here. Injury report for Friday, October 11th. Everyone's healthy. The short and sweet of it is everyone is healthy. There is not a single person on the Eagles' active roster that is injured. Reed popped up with an illness. Full practice, though. I guess he'd already had the potential. But really the only one was Nakobe Dean, who I believe was limited practice Wednesday and Thursday. But as you see, full practice there. I mean, the only thing is like, okay, cool, there's a lot of names there, but they're all full practice. They're all full participant. Good to go. I don't really know when the last time was that we had this healthy of a roster. Usually you have 1, 2, 5 guys on the active roster that you're trying to deal with, yet not a soul on the active roster is injured and or will be planning on missing this game, which is, again, phenomenal news. So positive to start out. That's the good news there. If we move over to Cleveland, they are not so fortunate, and their list is like a CVS receipt. Obviously, some of these are full, but you might have to get out the magnifying glass to read all of those. There's a ridiculous amount of names. As you see, Nick Chubb got in some limited practices, so, we wish Nick Chubb the full speedy recovery, of course, with the injury that he's trying to get over. But he'll be out officially. Several other guys out. In terms of potential playmakers or potential difference makers, you see Jordan Hicks is questionable. Maurice Hurst, questionable. Denzel Ward, obviously, cornerback there, questionable. Some good news, though, for the offensive line of Cleveland, and I'm interested to see how this actually takes, or affects things on Sunday. But Zack Zinter appears to be okay. Jedrick Wills appears to be okay, full practice. I would assume that he will play. No issues or concerns there. And then also Jack Conklin. So for an offensive line that was has been very beat up, they might be getting healthy at a opportune time for them, because going into this, the thought would be, oh, great. All right, so the Eagles, pass rush has not been what we want it to be. Might be able to take advantage, yet we'll see. The offensive line might not be as banged up as what we initially thought. So if we come away from that game, hopefully you can take advantage. Deshaun Watson, as we have been talking about, Anthony mentioned whenever we were discussing on, what was the days all fly together? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Deshaun Watson is getting sacked at a ridiculous amount. I mean, historic pace. And he's asking you to sack him. But he's also had not the best blocking, and he's holding onto the ball. Now, if they watch the game film of Baker Mayfield and you hold onto the ball for 1.95 seconds, then that totally changes things. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how the Browns how the Stains change their game plan up, if they do. But as long as Fangio will press coverage, change up a little bit. He did say that he was going to try to do that and make some maybe different alignments with players. Looks like Cooper DeJean will probably be starting. Good to see him back there. You shut down the run. You make this team one-dimensional. I mean, like, a loss is... I can't even fathom a loss, but really, if you come away from this game and you're like, oh, man, you only got like 1 sack, then I'm going to be disappointed, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but like, it feels like this game should be... We're saying similar things. I understand that. We're saying similar things as to what we said against Tampa or before Tampa. And with Baker Mayfield, like, he holds onto the ball. It'd be opportunities. Go out there and get sacks. But, yeah, hopefully Deshaun Watson has not turned into the vintage Deshaun Watson, as I think we were talking about on Tuesday as well. But we shall see. Super Chats here. Alvin, appreciate the 5. I didn't see a comment here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. If it's just appreciate the support nonetheless, but let me know if you have a question, comment, anything there. Don't feel like you have to shoot out another super chat, but appreciate it. Mask on or off with a 5 bomb as well. Says, what can Jalen do to turn things around this game? That is a good question. I'm curious, what does everybody else think as well? What does Jalen Hurts have to do to turn things around? Texan Eagle saying stop fumbling, no turnovers. That was probably going to be my initial response as well. No turnovers. Cam might be trolling there, it seems like. Sit on the bench is what he needs to do to turn things around. Jalen's got to have a solid game. He doesn't have to go out there and be crazy. But this Cleveland team is one of those that you don't have to lean on Jalen Hurts and say, hey, go win it for us. You really should never, or, you won't need to as long as you're fully healthy on offense. You have so many weapons. It's, hey, Jalen, distribute the ball. Play point guard here. We need Anthony, if he's still here, will appreciate this. We need a Rajon Rondo of the Celtics old. I'm not talking like, don't go down there. But, you got the big three option. I'm doing that to Anthony, of course. I know some people are going to go, why are you using a Celtics reference? I'm using it because I'm hoping that Anthony's still here. We just need somebody that you got to just be good. We don't need Jalen Hurts to be elite. I had some people in the comments saying like, oh, man, you paid him to be elite. Yeah, he's got 255. Okay, it'd be nice. It'd be great if he was. But you don't have to. And he's ninth in terms of, if we're looking at average pay per year for quarterbacks, I believe he's ninth on the list. That's not, that's, hey, can you be a good quarterback? Can you distribute the ball? Now, we could get in the argument, does he make players around him better? We haven't really seen that so far yet. It's been a limited sample size with the talent and the roster and then working with Kellen Moore, and then how much is Nick Sirianni getting involved. But that's a whole nother story. Ultimately, Jalen Hurts just needs to, and it might be crazy to say this, shout out to John McMullen and Xander Kraus for having me on Jacob earlier, but kind of the thought of Jalen just needs to stay out of the way in terms of turnovers. He can make big plays. He can actually take advantage. Cleveland plays, I believe, man coverage more than any team in the NFL. They're certainly towards the very top, but I think they're the very top in man coverage. So there's good options. And if Jalen Hurts can take advantage of that, they also play single high shell quite a bit, which means A.J. Brown, first game back, possibly a chance to take advantage of that. Maybe some deep shots. I don't know. Could be some bigger plays. You can also make the case and argument, especially if you look at the Commanders game. By the time that one was really, halftime, it was basically out of reach. But as we know, we've watched, but if you continue to ask your defense to get back out there on the field because your offense can't move the ball and can't do anything, there's only so much that they can do. And so you kind of saw that in the Commanders and Cleveland game. Yet, nonetheless, they're at the point where you had so many different big plays. I think there was like a 38-yard run from Jane Daniels, like a 50-yard run from Eckler, and another 26-yard run or something like that. So Washington was doing all they wanted just about the entire day. So it doesn't have to necessarily be to that tone, but there's going to be opportunities. Take advantage of it. You don't have to do too much, and you'll be all right. Ultimately, yes, I think it starts out just no turnovers. That's the beginning point. No turnovers, and then after the game, we can kind of figure out where that goes. But if Jalen has, I don't know, you can run the football on this team. The Cleveland, Anthony made the point as well, Cleveland's 8th, I believe, in NFL rush defense in terms of yards. They've given up 8 touchdowns. That's the second worst in the league. Run the ball. Run the ball with Saquon Barkley. It's even better this week because you have your options of A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. It makes it's a better, I guess, distraction, right? You have the defense to say, well, they can't totally sell out with Saquon because they've got A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith. Well, that's fine. Just continue to run inside zone, which is what Jeff Stoutland and the offense loves to do. They've shown that so many times. They refuse to do outside zone, and that is another argument that you could get into, but it's more than good enough from what we've seen of Saquon Barkley and this Eagles offense. So run the football, get started early, and then help the defense by having a lead and making life a whole lot easier. Remains to be seen if they can actually do that, but that would be my hope for Jalen and for all the guys there. All right, some of the comments here, though, I'm curious as well of what you guys came up with. Also, Ainias, stop playing hero ball. Yeah, David Moore, also the no fumbles or interceptions. Throw to Dotson from Michael H. Dotson probably not. If Dotson wasn't getting the ball beforehand, I hear you, bro, but like that, he's he's probably not getting much at this point. You get AJ and Smitty back, I doubt that he will. Unfortunately, perhaps. But Nadir says, put the ball into Saquon's hands. Yes, Iron Mike, take the check downs. Carroll, stop holding on to the ball too long. That is totally true. Also, John McMullen did make the point this morning as well. It depends on the offense that you're running, obviously. I think most of us understand that. But the offense that you're running, whether it's detrimental to hold on to the ball too long. Like you could just immediately take a look at the NFL stats and say, oh, which quarterbacks hold on the ball too long or just hold on to the ball the longest. And that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, that quarterback is bad, can't make decisions quickly, regressing, whatever, name you want to call it. Because Sam Darnold, and that's maybe an outlier. We'll see how he turns out by the end of the year. But Brock Purdy is also right up there in terms of the longest time to throw. But they run offenses that is predicated on a play-action pass. And if you're not running under center, if you're not having the option of a play-action pass, play-action doesn't really necessarily throw them off as much as far as you're running from the gun too much. Now, if maybe you saw a little bit of pistol, that's another way you could go about it, but it's still not the same thing in terms of being under center. And I don't know if it's a Jalen Hurts not being comfortable in that spot. I don't know if it's a Sirianni issue or problem of him not enjoying or not appreciating that alignment, but we haven't seen it, and I doubt that they're going to fully implement that, even though if you bought Nick Sirianni's word salad again, he was saying that there's some changes, couldn't give everything away, but the audio-video team had some changes apparently at practice. So I don't exactly know how that translates onto the field, but nonetheless, that is where Sirianni went with that one. It would be nice. I would love to see some under center play action stuff. It might not be to that extent, but if you get it to where, like I say, running pistol, changing some things up, keep it with Saquon. The offense can run through Saquon. You can run the ball first and get up on a team. That's where this team will be the best. Adrian, why don't Jalen spread the ball around? Yeah, he's kind of mostly always been that player. I mean, especially what he's been coached up wise. But yeah, you got a guy like AJ, you got a guy like DeVonta. He's got the trust there, and that's who he goes with. It's not the worst thing, but it would be nice if you had the option or spread it around a little bit too much or a little bit more. Let's see. Sorry, getting to some of these other comments as well. Jeffrey, I don't think the direction the Eagles are going is in fixes Jalen Hurts. We're trying to be more of a pass-first team, and that's not what he's best at. I agree. That's honestly where it is. It's not a you didn't build this team for a Jalen Hurts. Hey, just go around there, pass happy, throw it all over the field, and dominate that way. You built it off of Jeff Stoutland and the run game coordination there. You're going to run the football. You should be effective with running the football. You have the threat of Jalen Hurts. It's a lot less. We haven't seen him with either the ability, the quickness, the speed, the willingness to run. Understandably, you pay all that money. You're kind of like, well, we don't want to get him injured, so we're going to back off a little bit. But there's a very fine line on, hey, that's what made him successful. That's what made him dangerous. And we just haven't seen as much. But I think the vast majority, if we were to throw up a poll, would agree with you there. Christian, we need to play on a fast pace and set the tempo, I think is what you're going. Maybe so. Retro saying Jalen needs to protect the ball. Alvin, appreciate that. Says win big. Unfortunately, I feel it's going to be kind of like the first Giants game last year. Yeah, I hope not. But if it's close, it also wouldn't be totally surprising. Weedosaurus, I dare anyone in the chat to go read Jalen's rookie scouting report and tell me that it's not concerning. He still has those tendencies 5 years later. His scouting report reads like it was written last week. I've read it a number of times. I think I messaged you back on that one. It is concerning, yes. I still, though, would ultimately want to know for a fact that Nick Sirianni is not involved as much and that Jalen has full capacity to try to learn a different system, because for his entire career, he's been one offensive coordinator and then the next offensive coordinator. There's been hardly any stability with who he's learning an offensive from. So sure, he might have weaknesses. I'm not going to say that those are not his weaknesses, but I also would argue that, like, has he gotten a fair shake in terms of some consistency with a coordinator who can say, hey, we're gonna slowly implement this. We're going to slowly continue to increase your capability in these certain areas. And I don't know. He might not be able to fix those. It might just be a continual thing where, yep, that's who he is. There's never going to be any increase. But, you know, I think that we're all here naturally right before the Cleveland game and saying, like, Nick Sirianni's on hot seat for a reason. He's not done enough at all, and he's not the answer in the offense. So, you know, is he holding him back? We won't know for sure, but I would be curious if you had somebody else in there, a QB whisperer of sorts, because unfortunately Nick Sirianni's not that, and that's fine. He's the hype man, but it needs to get better. Clifford said he needs better coaching. Mask on or off. There's the we need to fire Nick, which we get a number of those. Let's see. Frank from Philly, appreciate that. Thank you. Say congratulations on Jacobs. Yes, that was the second time hopping on there with Xander and John, so that was fun. Had a good time this morning, just talking through everything else. Let's see. Oder Bo said, tuning into the stream from my job's break room. Go Birds. Go Birds. Appreciate that. Hopefully all is going well. Let's see. I'm going to go. Frank, what's up? Yes, Cranky Cletus. Hopefully the changes include Barkley running early and often. Totally agree. Carmen, we need a statement game blowout. What's the, not that I disagree with you, what is the definition of a blowout? If we're talking about like how much does it need to be in order for us to classify it as a blowout? Because everybody's interpretations of that are obviously very different, but the spread, I believe, was opened up as Eagles 8.5. Favored by 8.5. I think it might be up to 9.5 if I'm not mistaken, but where is the number that you're looking at there in terms of a blowout win? What do you need to see numbers-wise? Or, I mean, heck, is it just win? Is it, hey, you know what? We got the dub. We're moving on. Like, where's the level for most people or for you guys in terms of you can come away from this thing? And I know that, like, whatever the score is, we'll like hyper-analyze and go, oh, well, Jalen, you know, he had a turnover or whatever. But, like, what just the score, broad view, 30,000-foot view, what score do you need to see to come away from that game and go, all right, we got a chance? Like, there's some confidence level. Tracy ain't excited to see Cooper DeJean play more. Absolutely. Heck yes. We're going to need him. The Browns play a lot of 10 personnel, 11 personnel. So you would assume they're going to be in the nickel quite a bit. They might even be in an opportunity for Isaiah Rodgers to see the field. Would be interesting. But yeah, Coop's going to get an opportunity, and especially with the run game, if Jerome Ford is getting the ball, or it'd be Deontay Foreman, you know, be able to make some stops. That's what I would want to see. He's going to be more physical than Avonte Maddox, so get him out there. You draft him for a reason. See if that versatility, like we've talked about, can pay off, and does the team as a whole tackle better? That is the very strange question and scenario. They did away with the donuts. You guys may have seen that, but they're not tackling the donuts anymore. They're just tackling safeties coach Joe Casper. I did a video about that, I think, a day or two ago. But poor Joe Casper. He is being tackled by the squad. They drew straws. And actually, I don't know how they figured it out, but I've just assumed, like, in a coach's meeting, who's going to get tackled? You know, who's willing to get tackled by the defense? And so there you go. You have a stationary coach getting tackled, which, is better than a orange donut, I suppose. But overall, I don't know. It's just that the players and their ability, I hope that we see something different. It remains to be seen, and until it actually happens on the field, that's also one of those for the defense where I'm like, I don't know. Even if we play press coverage, if Cleveland throws the ball into open space and they're forcing us to make tackles individually, I got to see it. I might even have to see it a couple games worth before I'm like, oh, maybe this is not an issue for the team. Sauce says, Commanders beating the Ravens. Stop sleeping on us. Okay, well, I mean, I said the Commanders are a good team. The question is, are they a great team? If they were to beat the Ravens, you're going to get a lot of people to admit probably that they're either at that level or close. But they're not a walk in the park. And for people that have not bought in or thinking that it's easy. Okay, so blowouts though. The question on that: 40-7. David Morris, 40-7 is a blowout win. 41-10 for iActive. Carroll, 35-7. Low-key 3 scores at least. Let's see. Christine, people doubt Hurts because they doubt every quarterback. Yeah, it's kind of a given. What we see quite a bit. 40-7 for CMV. 40-8. Michael H. over the 49ers. Where are we going with this? Oh, CMV, but we didn't specify which team is the 40. Well, it's kind of a given, I would suppose. We're talking about if you're going to feel confident in those. Let's see. David, 35-14, and then also a 44-20. Interesting. Carmen, 42-18. Louis, 31-13. John M, touchdown in the first quarter. Let's start there for a change. That is perfectly fair. That's a very realistic one. I'll take that. We haven't had it in 4 games and 10 possessions in total. So, yeah, let's do it for once, please. Oscar, 30-13. Christine's a 45-7. David's going with first quarter points and every quarter points, touchdown, every point's touchdowns and defensive stops. I would be happy with that if we were to see something. David Ertz is going with an Eagles 42-10. Book it. 35-10 score prediction for Jamar. I love the positivity, love the optimism. I'm thinking it's a little bit closer than that, but in terms of, what do you need to see to be confident? I mean, yeah, those are great numbers there where I could walk away going, all right, hey, we turn this thing around. I think, sadly, Cleveland is probably going to be one of the better showings that they've seen this year. Not that that's saying a whole lot because they haven't scored over 18 points. It's been anywhere from the 13 to 18 range. But that's why I said 31-20 was my score prediction. That's what I was going with. Charles says, I think this will be a get-right game. We should win by 10-plus points. Well, there you go. They've got 11 points. That's some confidence, some cautious optimism there, but 11 points, 31-20. The offense, if Jalen doesn't turn the ball over, my thought is Deshaun Watson is going to throw you an interception or maybe a fumble, but he's probably going to throw you an interception. He'll turn the ball over at least once. He will press. He'll get sacked maybe a couple times. We could just hope and pray that happens with the defensive line, but I believe that he will. And then the offense can capitalize on that. If they're not turning the ball over. Like the Eagles offense, shout out to Warren Sharp with Sharp Analytics, but the Eagles offense is, I think, top 5 in terms of you talk about getting into the red zone, moving the football and getting into the red zone. The issue is, as we've all seen, Jalen Hurts turns the ball over in the red zone. Turns it over at the highest clip out of quarterbacks or tied for the highest out of quarterbacks in the red zone. That is not a winning formula. We all understand that. It's not a winning formula, but the team can get into that area, into the scoring area. It's just they've had so many issues lately. The question is, if they don't turn the ball over and they're getting points, and sometimes, sure, you know what, you might have to settle for field goals. But even there, it's better than nothing, which we've seen too many times. You go into the red zone, you don't get points. You don't come away with anything. Capitalize. Take advantage of the turnovers if and when you get them. And it's also a little bit of a morale booster. Sure, the defense would love the offense to get the ball and go down and score a touchdown. But, I mean, I got to imagine, right? Like, we've all played sports. A lot of us have probably played football. If you're on one side of the ball, you're like, man, get me something. I'm doing my work here. But if you can't score at all, Like, come on. Even if it's 3 points, get me in the position there and get 3 points. Like, something where we can walk away from this going, all right, we held him. Like, we got to stop. It's going to help us in some way. And eventually, it wears on you. So, yeah, anything there. But I believe 31-20. I think that's where I'm going with. Hopefully, the defense can shut him down more than that. But I could see where Deshaun Watson's getting his offensive linemen, a couple of them back, and being healthy, probably gives him a little more time than he's had recently. Not that he's going to, drastically improve his play, because he's been not great. Who was it? There's somebody that tweeted this, and it was kind of like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. But I can't remember now. There was some tweet that I saw, and someone was like, Deshaun Watson might be a better person than he is player at this point. Now, again, you take that for what it may. But somebody was like, trolling, and that tweet like blew up, and I can't remember now. I should have saved it and actually shared it, but somebody tweeted that. But he's been terrible on the field nonetheless. It'd probably be a little bit better from what we've seen. Therefore, the reason I said 31-20. Although Reese's Buff's going 31-0. If we have a shutout 31-0, oh my gosh. I mean, we don't want to overreact necessarily, but we're back. We're in good shape if it's a 31-0, even with a Cleveland team, because this is, the NFL, and I think that you'd certainly be happy about that one. Charles is the 38-10. Let's see. Talk says anything 3 scores, so I'd say 17-point lead counts for you. Christian, I'm okay with a 24-10. Frank from Philly, 27 Eagles. Brownies, 18. And Weedosaurus. See, I'm right about with Weedosaurus. It's 31-17 Eagles. I'm saying 31-20. Fitness with the blowout, or saying that the blowout definition is 17+ points. Okay, I can get that. Raiden, you're not wrong. Jake Elliott has probably forgotten how to kick field goals. Certainly in the first quarter. I think it's actually written into his contract, and that's why he's not been kicking them. That Jake is not allowed to kick field goals in the first quarter. So then Nick Sirianni's like, well, we're just gonna go for it. It won't matter because we can't mess up the contract. Fanny 27-24 Birds. Cranky Cletus a little closer, 31-27 Eagles. Frank Lowe's going to go with close, but Cleveland wins 17-14. Oh, man, okay. Well, that's the first one. That's the first one that I've seen, I believe, of a score from Cleveland winning. If that happens, I think it's got to be done, right? Alexander, that might be the second person with a Cleveland to win. Where is that? Yeah, in all seriousness, I think it'll be 21-17 Browns, and 2 of Cleveland's touchdowns will be pick sixes. 2 of them. Yikes. Yeah. Well, it'll be ultimate panic if we're getting there, quite honestly. If we got 2 turnovers and they're pick sixes, really if Jalen just turns the ball over once is going to be bad enough, but you turn the ball over twice, and yeah, we got some serious issues. But the Cleveland Browns defense, they're not terrible, especially if they can get a little bit of help from their offense and they're not on the field too long. But they've created some havoc. If you look at the havoc ratings or the score there, based on the number of sacks and pressures, and potential turnovers created, they've been able to have their moments. They just have an abysmal offense that is absolutely not doing them any favors at all. So, and they've got Myles Garrett. Granted, he's a little banged up. Didn't play so great last week. I believe it was 0 tackles and 0 pressures last week, which is, uncharacteristic for a Myles Garrett type of game ever. But a little banged up. Dirty Air. Oh, it was Elliott. Okay. I couldn't remember who did say that. So, okay. Source, I think fans should be hoping for 5+ sacks. DC has a horrible defense, and they dropped Watson 7 times. We'll see. Just Mike, just cover the spread. Okay. Carroll will be okay with the 11-point win, Josh. I'm there with you. Tracy, that's a fair point. The key to an Eagles win is a Reed Blankenship interception. So far, that's all we've gotten at this point, but maybe we get a Q interception. I think I saw a comment earlier. Jamar, yeah, Q's going to finally get his first pick six. Andrew's saying the same thing. Hopefully so. Sophie, 24-7. Let's hold him to one touchdown. Yeah, what is the absolute panic level for everyone there? I mean, if we're talking about a loss necessarily, because I at first asked, okay, the question was, what makes you confident, right? As Nate here, though, says, maybe Sirianni and Hurts come to Jesus moment was Hurts convincing him to leave the offense to more. Hopefully so. We can all dream. We can all pray. I need to see it. Everyone needs to see it. But there's a slim chance if Sirianni was actually meaning something for once instead of just the talk in circles for forever and nothing really comes to fruition from it. He said that there's some changes but doesn't want to give anything away, and then he shared some things that are like, oh my gosh, I don't know if that's actually a change, and if it is, then it's certainly not making any difference. But okay, cool, like you gave us something, I guess, but hopefully there's some bigger changes, and if he's not able or willing to share those, fine. Who really cares necessarily, because we need to see it actually on the field. But yeah, like please stay away, let Kellen Moore have it, because if it's an issue and they fail with Kellen Moore running the offense, that's fine. I think all of us could live with that more so. Not that you're happy with it, but you at least know at that point, hey, it's not just Sirianni. Then okay, we've got obviously some player issues, but is it even the right coordinator here? Do you need to make another change? There's so many questions you can go down that line. But so far, it's too often of Sirianni inserting himself or just being involved in everything that I just don't know that you have an answer. Easy asked Santa for a double-digit win. Let's see if he comes through. Unfortunately, Santa can't deliver that promise until Christmas time, so if that means we're not getting a double-digit win till Christmas, we might be out of luck. It could be the Dallas game, right? That one's after. I think it's December 29th? It'd be good. Well, we probably need one before then. Probably well before that point. Yeah, no early Christmas gifts in the Davis household. I don't know what you guys do, but you got to wait on Santa. Cosmo defense gives up 40 and panic mode will start, win or lose. Good gosh, if we get 40, yeah. It would absolutely be panicking. Stop eating our cats says, what if Bryce Huff gets a sack? What if that happens? What if Bryce Huff gets a sack? There's some really interesting lines out there in terms of Bryce Huff and him getting a sack for the Eagles. Doesn't quite make sense for a guy who has, I believe, one tackle or two if we're doing like the assisted tackle number. It's somewhere in that range, but a little strange. Let's see. Fanny, Joku. If Joku's playing, he's hard to stop. That's true, he is. Oddly enough, the Eagles have been much better against tight ends this year. Not that we've been like phenomenal, but they've been much better this year against tight ends than last year. Last year was like an automatic. As soon as you saw any tight end, I think we had this conversation many times for the live streams, but then even in the hangouts. And it was like, well, whoever the tight end is on the opposing team, go ahead and start the tight end because the tight end's going to have a good game. And obviously, while you're at it, start the quarterback, for the latter portion of the year for sure, but basically the entire season. But tight ends were dominating, and it hasn't been to the same point. Now, you can make the case and argument like skill level, who they're playing, sure, things like that. But it hasn't been as bad tight end focus. So, I don't know. That's actually pretty good. Agent 1.5, Agent 2. We're just keeping him on. It should be based on the sacks, right? So he's Agent 0 still so far. At this point in the season, I think everybody would take if we get to the point of like, hey, Bryce Huff had 5 sacks, 6 sacks. I mean, that feels like a far cry. That's impossible and will not happen. But if you did, then I don't know. Maybe it's Agent 5, it's Agent 6. It's such a joke. Oh my God, Michael Huff will get an accidental sack like Nolan did. Jeez, Nolan catching one there. You're not wrong necessarily, but this was a Bryce Huff only. Just throwing some shade, and Nolan caught a stray. Easy saying, if Bryce Huff even gets a pressure, the sky is falling. Man, what if? I know. This is all hypothetical. What if, though? Like, if Bryce Huff has a game where it's 2 sacks, like 3 or 4 pressures, a couple sacks, maybe a forced fumble as well, a little strip sack action there. I know, I'm getting carried away. Way too much. That's not happening. Huff is the first 0.07 agent. Yeah, he's definitely not 007. 0.07. Oh, that might be a little much. He might be, because that's what, tens, hundredths? He might be to the thousandths. He might be 0.007. I'm getting to some of these comments late, but easy, that's pretty good. I can't lie. That's actually a pretty good one. Josh, have you heard the new Fangio's restaurant? He serves the food 10 to 15 yards off the plate. Quite a unique experience. Oh my gosh. Pretty realistic then. It's authentic. What kind of genre of food are we talking about? It's at least authentic. You know you're getting it's homemade. It's the real stuff. Cam, little play slay. Easy, no play slay. Flame saying the defense has 2 dudes in Q and Carter. There might be someone else. Zack Baun's been up and down, but, he's been all right. Reed's the only one with interceptions. So there's a couple. I mean, I hear you, but I think I'd go with at least a few more there. Yeah, fitness. That's also a good point. Just so everyone knows, we're always the team everyone blocks the best against. It's not the fact that we can't get a pressure or a sack. It's the fact that the team itself has the game of their life. So, yeah, just so everybody knows. It's not us. It's them playing out of their minds. Marcus saying, got to email. Someone lifted me a sub. I think at the membership, actually. Yeah, I gave away 5 of those earlier, and you were one of the names. So congrats to you. Heck yeah. Figured because Jay, shout out to Jay again, but he became a member to start it off. So I was like, why not? Let's just give away 5 of those bad boys. So you were in for the ticket giveaway potential, which, again, reminder at the end of the month. We'll be doing that for any and all members. And I'll probably give it another, I don't know, we'll go like another 10 minutes or so, something like that, just to make sure. But the jersey giveaway, we'll be doing that. So we'll spin for it. Hopefully the individual is here on the stream, but we'll see. Let's see, Nate, if Huff gets a sack, it means the Browns are playing 10 on defense. Man, these takes are so harsh for him, but I get it. Like, I'm right there with you. Charles Bryce is going to get at least 1.5 sacks Sunday. There we go. There's some optimism. I mean, I would just start with 1 sack, but 1.5 sacks, hey, I will remember that. Like, if he gets it. Some of these takes, my gosh. Hey, there we go. Marcus returning the favor. Just gifted 1 Philly Special Show membership. Heck yeah. That goes to, let's see, who was that? Stylish Content. Congratulations. You got it. Oh, come on. Easy saying another sky is falling moment is if we score a touchdown in the first quarter. No, that one will be like, okay, it happened. Like, yes, we'll be excited. It'll be like we haven't done it in a while. But that's not, to me, it's not one of those that's near the same of, oh my gosh, Bryce Huff just got a sack. Like, if Bryce Huff gets a sack, I'm going to be very surprised. If we score a touchdown in the first quarter, it'll be one of those that's like, thank you, finally. It should have happened. I mean, Bryce Huff should have happened too, but it's just, it's different. Alvin, hate to see BG go out with a terrible season. Got to win the season for the future Philly Ring of Hall of Fame, Ring of Famer. Yeah, I mean, Jason Kelsey and Fletch kind of had to go out like that, but. And Charles is going with Quinyon to have one interception. I mean, Deshaun Watson, he's going to give a chance, but we'll see. Weedosaurus, I actually did the stream only giveaways on, 2 weeks ago? Or it was either last week or 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We did the multiple giveaways. In fact, the Isaiah Rodgers helmet was the stream only. So, Jedi Master, come on, no. Rodgers, he's not saying he wants to go back to the Colts. I saw somebody blow it up out of proportion on social media. It's literally, there's a total difference, by the way. Like, if you're liking and or retweeting a play where your former team is sacking and strip sacking your current team's quarterback, and, you guys know I'm referencing Devin White, that is totally different than having a fan that's going, oh, we would love to have you back, or, oh, come back to the Colts, and liking that comment. Like, it's a show of appreciation or support. And Zay is like big time on showing fan appreciation and support. It's not saying like, yes, I want to go back to the Colts. I want to go back to Indy. It's just someone's like, hey, you won't respond. Hey, what about this? Okay. Got a lot of love. I don't know. To me, that's not near as big of a deal. But I saw people blowing it out of proportion and like, oh my gosh, like this is new. This is a big deal. He doesn't want to be here. He's upset. I think that's going way too far. At least in my mind. Let's see. There's Striped Bass. What's the latest news? Well, the latest news is the Eagles have the healthiest. I don't know when the last time this actually happened. I mean, they literally have everyone healthy on their active roster. So that's the main news, the main potential right there. It's also the fact that they have a really good matchup on paper against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I think the Browns will play better, as we were saying, but just kind of going over the fact that Cleveland got a couple good news. They have offensive linemen that would be starters that are going to be there, so you assume Deshaun Watson is going to have a little bit more time to throw. But ultimately, it's going to come down to turnovers. I think Anthony said that. We've all been saying it, but it feels like even more so because we're going into a game with another quarterback who is struggling mightily and is just asking to turn the ball over. So, I mean, I'll be shocked, but if we don't have somebody that, like, I don't know, if we have a game where we have more turnovers, and what are we going on now? It's like is it 13 games or 15 games? It's something crazy, the number of how many games in a row the Eagles have not won the turnover battle. But surely this is the one. I mean, it's just a group that's not playing with fundamentals. They have their own issues. Please capitalize and take advantage. It's been way, way too long. Julian, the giveaway is any Eagles jersey of your choice. Just on one of those. Christine, yeah, there you go. See, we've been saying Agent Zero for a long time. It was the reason why we said Agent Zero for all the wrong reasons. Zero stats. Made a short about that, actually. I don't know. There's a fine line of like trolling too. At the same, like I'm supporting. I'm optimistic. I do want him to turn things around, but maybe we could go too far at times. Cam, should I take out a $50,000 loan? Hang on, where's that? Should I take out a $50,000 loan and put it all on the Eagles scoring a touchdown on the opening drive? Cam, I don't know how much money you got, bro, but like, no. Be smart. Be smart. Gamble responsibly. I don't know that there's anything that you should take out that amount of money for, and ever, unless you can absolutely afford to lose that. So, chill out with that one. What's the one lock? I don't know. This is actually dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't go there because Cam's living dangerously right now. If this is the total hypothetical, so don't run with this one. Cam, cover your ears. But what's the one lock? If you were going to be predicting this game, the one lock and guarantee. It could be, for example, one lock is the Eagles will score on the opening drive, or one lock. And I'm be serious about it. I know it's like, hey, we could be optimistic and everything else, but like the one thing you would guarantee yourself is going to happen in this game here. Whether it be Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown, whether it be, like I said, Eagles score on the opening drive, a Bryce Huff sack, Quinyon Mitchell interception, Zack Baun gets a sack, Nakobe Dean doesn't miss a tackle. And I'm going optimistic here. I mean, you could be negative, I suppose, but I'm curious. Like the one optimistic guarantee that you feel confident about with the Eagles. Fanny, I don't know if Ant-Man's still on the stream. Anthony sometimes streams it while he's writing or he's working, but he's also got kiddos' bedtime too. So, not sure. Easy asking about a Q jersey or a Saquon jersey. Man, that's tough. That's difficult. If you were to win it and get to pick, man, that's really tough actually. I might go with. Yeah, I might go with Q just because he was drafted. But, man, Saquon's so good and playing at a ridiculous level. The fact that he's even an Eagle still sometimes, I'm like, man, Saquon's here. So, yikes, that's tough. Honestly, I have the worst jersey jinx. So, yeah, whatever I tell you probably is going to be wrong. So maybe I shouldn't. Okay, let's see these bold predictions here. These confident predictions, though. All right, let's see. We've got let's see. Yes, Jarkey, Denzel Ward is questionable, but it's very, very uncertain about him playing. Brian, I appreciate that. Seeing the comment about Bird 365. Carmen, I know, DeJean. I'm saying DeJean, but you go back and forth. Dank, Smitty and AJ are absolutely back. Yes, they are perfectly fine. They are going to be playing. And reminder, again, I mean, most people already know this. You guys are usually the regulars, but Thomas and I will be streaming live during that game. So if you want to come hang out, let's see. Fanny, who is Huff? That's even better. That's even better. Okay, let's see. We've got one guy said he lost 1,000. Wait, did somebody say that? Who said they lost 1,000? Who is? I missed that. If somebody said they lost 1,000, hopefully not. Jeez. Put the 50,000 on Bryce Huff not getting a tackle. That's Brian's. Okay, well. Shady, Barkley for a touchdown. Collins going AJ 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's confident. You could have just said 1, but I like that. Like I said, single high shell for the Browns. They're going to give big play opportunities, or at least disguise it in terms of big play opportunities. The question is, does Jalen throw? Do they bait him into throwing it? But even still, I mean, we've seen AJ beat two defensive backs whenever you just launch it up there to him. So, yeah. I really like the Barkley touchdown. Again, like I said, Barkley, the Browns defense being one of the worst defenses in the league, averaging to allow 5 yards a carry. What we've seen from Saquon, this offensive line, second worst in the league in terms of touchdowns. So, not gonna lie, that is gonna be one of mine. I'm sure. I'll officially lock it in probably tomorrow, but I would say very likely in terms of the underdog play that I use. So I'll post that to the page here on the other socials. So if you follow on X or Instagram or whatever, but I'll make sure and let you know. But that one feels good. Rod John's going Q will have a pick. Easy. Hurts turnover. I feel you. I mean, if you've been betting, I think I saw this the other day. If you took Jalen to have a turnover and or interception, however you played that one out, but if you were to bet it every single week and just double, somebody posted that on social media, and they were literally just doubling it every single week. And I think that they were up to like, I can't remember what the amount was that they started, but I think they were up to like 15 grand, something like, it was crazy. And they're just like, oh, well, I'm going to double it again. There you go. There's the turnover. I hate it. You know, we all hate it, but you kind of look at that and you go, well, it's not the worst thing. Cam, now you're considering it. See, this is the problem. Jack's also with the Jalen Hurts turnover. Carmen Barkley, 2 touchdown lock. Weedosaurus Barkley goes for 50 plus. I could appreciate that too. Josh, yeah, the Saquon Barkley touchdown, easy. Mask on or off. Jalen scores a touchdown. I'm assuming that's a rushing one. We're talking about rushing. I mean, it's usually how those work for quarterback scores. They don't get attributed for passing. I mean, they do fantasy wise, but I'm assuming. Charles, the 1 lock. Jalen touches the ball every time on offense. Okay, that's an interesting one actually. You're like 99.9% of a lock on that, but you know there could be crazier situations with a wildcat formation, or I don't know, something random. But I don't know if that's a traditional pick that you can go with, but I like that. It's a unorthodox one. Let's see, AJ 75 specific from Kenny Pickett here. Kenny's hanging out on the stream because Kenny's not getting any playing time, but we appreciate you, Kenny. Appreciate you hanging out. AJ with a 75-yard touchdown. Again, could have just said any touchdown, but 75 specifically there. And 75 is also interesting because that's not the traditional yardage now, right? Because of the starting at the 30-yard line. So 75 is a very bold choice. Like if you said 70, that'd be like, okay, well, it was kicked out of the back of the end zone in the touchback. But 75, all right. I'm sure you got your method there, but Dirty Air, A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. Yep. Q gets a pick for Rod. Barkley, TD for Jacob. Philly Duncan, Jalen Hurts fumble, specifically for the fumble. Hurts turnover. Jalen throwing a pick for Cool Willie. There's a lot of turnovers for Jalen. John, that is very smart. Limits are a problem when the jingle is surrounding me. That is, yeah, you got to have a limit. If you're going out there and playing, everyone knows that, but you got to have your limit. Hurts for a rushing TD. Rod's got several of these. Barkley needs 28 touches. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Please sign me up for that one. BG gets a sack for Christine. Rich Lou, Q with a pick. Nate's going Jalen with an interception. Weedosaurus, Eagles score first is a lock. Okay. I'd have to actually look at that one. I think I saw that one earlier, but it's not a bad selection. AJ Brown touchdown. We got several other of these. Yeah, another Hurts fumble. Mike's going with a 50,000 on Huff slipping or getting bodied to the ground. Oh, Huff just keeps just more and more. Man, it's just too bad for him. Ryan, I've not gotten tickets for Dallas in week 17 yet, but Thomas and I are planning on going there if there's still something to play for. Let's just say that. I'm not being pessimistic yet. It just I'm holding off on purchasing. But the plan, the hope, the goal is to end up going to that game. So we will see. We do have tickets for the Commanders game. So the Thursday night football game against the Commanders. I can't remember now. I'm trying to think of the date. November 14th, I think. But we will be at that game. So for people that got plans or wanting to go to that one, we will be posting and sharing more details as we get closer. But we will be there. Nate with the red zone turnover lock. Marcus also with the AJ touchdown. Jamar with the Jake Elliott under 2.5 field goals would be my bet. That's a great one because he's not really going to get, well, unless Sirianni changes, I guess, but feels like he won't. Easy. How do you enter the giveaway? I'll share this. And by the way, I missed this a second because I was getting to all the comments, so I'm behind. But John M., let's go. The 5 Philly Special Show memberships. So 5 more people got them. Eagles Nest, Ryan Goodwin, Trigger Trey, Adam Gribble and Dank Bird Gang 52. You all are members now, or just got another one. So, congrats to you, and thank you to John. That's big time. Cam 5K on Barkley anytime touchdown. It's been a pretty good lock. I've taken it just about every single time on Underdog, and I said this before too. It was nice whenever we had the vulture protection, because Underdog used to allow where if a quarterback scored a rushing touchdown, they see that as stealing it from the running back, and you get an automatic return on your entry, like you don't lose it. And then, I was like capitalizing on that. And a lot of people were, because it was like, well, Saquon's an automatic. Like he will either score a touchdown or Jalen Hurts will score a rushing touchdown for the Eagles. It seemed like, just about every single time. And after, I think, 3 weeks, they did away with it, because they're like, yeah, we're losing money on it. We can't keep allowing quarterback touchdowns. So if Kenny G were inserted into the game, you would still be saved by it. But come on, we all know Kenny G is not vulturing one of Saquon's touchdowns, although he's seen a few too many snaps in the red zone. Eagle One, what's up? Says let's run it, absolutely. Let me post. By the way, let me get that link. I was mentioning it, and I hadn't had it yet. But all right, let me share. Where the link is for the giveaway for people asking. So that you can get in on that. And all you got to do is go to this video, type in QB1. There we go. I'll put it into the description as well, but it'll be a little bit late. But go there. You'll leave this stream for a brief amount, by the way, or for just a brief moment. But go there and then type in QB1 in the comments. All you got to do. As soon as you do that, you're in it for the giveaway. And then we will spin this wheel here in just a bit. I'm going to give a little bit more time for those obviously getting in it late. And then we will see. All right, let me make sure and log in as well. All right. Yes, Alexander, just in time to enter the giveaway. Weeda source, that's actually a better point. Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but that's a great point. Yeah, just open the link with a new tab so you don't leave this stream if you don't want to. Either way. Let me see. Let me get to some of these other chats while we're waiting on that. Any other Q&A topics, comments about the game? Obviously, we talked through confidence, levels of confidence, what you're confident about, areas you're concerned about, what the Eagles can take advantage, the injury report. Eagles are completely healthy, should have the full squad. About to do the giveaway. Any other Q&As? Dakota, hey, appreciate that. Says, hey, Josh, the Phillies special show is more of my favorite shows to watch, just sports shows, favorite things to watch on YouTube altogether. Really appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. Y'all make it possible. So y'all are the real ones. For people that are commenting here, it's cool, but QB1 doesn't do anything for you in this video. I shared the link. You got to go to that link of the video that I shared. You can open that link in a new tab. Major Payne placed a bet or wanting to place a bet on Nick getting fired. There's probably a market for that. I haven't seen a line specifically, but is MGM doing that now? Or are we talking about something else? They might be. Yeah, go to that link. Open it in a new tab. Enter QB1 in that one. Rachel, also good question. Do you need to only comment QB1, or if you say anything else, it throws it out? No, you can say something else. It just has to have QB1 at some point in your comment, so you're good to go. And multiple comments don't help you. It doesn't actually, it doesn't give you multiple entries, but it also doesn't like take you out of the drawing. But I've had a couple people that went in there and like commented, 5 or 10 times. It only takes one, so it's not going to throw out all of your comments. But like I say, it'll throw out like 9 of the 10 that you did. You only get one entry for those. Let's see. John, I'm right there with John. I think everybody is in that boat. Yeah. Just need a relaxing Eagles game for once. Life is stressful enough sometimes. Sunday is supposed to be the day of rest. Amen to that. Please, just one day for the first time since, I think, the Miami game. We keep on bringing that. I think the Miami game was that one where you finally had a relatively stress-free. It was in prime time, a little bit close at halftime, and take advantage, getting rid of the, I guess, a little slow start. But please, just start early, get a lead, keep it, build on that, and then yeah, we'll be in a good mood. It'll be Sunday. We have the rest of the day as well. That would be so much better. Trenton saying, though, yeah, no such thing as a relaxing Eagles game. It does feel like it's been forever. It feels like that's there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a relaxing Eagles game because it's been way too long. Dot, I heard a rumor that Slay will be benched for this game. Where did you hear that? Yahweh is saying, I'm so tired of all the rumors. There's a crazy amount of rumors out there about like Slay being traded because one CBS writer was mentioning that. Look, Slay could get traded. He could. There's a lot of guys that could get traded. But what happens is this time of year, because the trade deadline is November 5th, some people start floating ideas, or they've got a deadline, or they got to write a certain amount of articles, and so they're like, oh, what should we write about? Well, hey, how about we go through and make a list of the top 7 or top 10, top 15, whatever names for teams to potentially trade, to potentially part with. And they go with some veterans, some guys who may be on unshaky ground with either team or the fan base, or a move that could potentially be made because they have some depth elsewhere. And you go ahead and just throw that out there. There's absolutely no legit report. Again, I would say it's not impossible. He could get traded. You do have some depth, but it's a total rumor. It's total speculation. So I got some comments of people saying like, oh, hey, did you see Slay's going to get traded? No, he's not. Like, as of right now, he's not going to get traded. He could, but it's lots and lots of rumors. And it's only going to heat up because of November 5th. Philly 422, November 5th is your birthday. Wow. Heck yeah. So you got November 5th, the trade deadline, and the election, and your birthday. Busy day. Lots of stuff going on. Breed of one. Oh yeah. Well, that's a good point. Yeah. I answered the, do you think we'll actually trade Darius, or refuse to call him Slay anymore too? LOL. Yeah, I don't know if we will. As of right now, from what I've seen and heard, I don't think that Darius. Oh, okay, I see. Dot. I didn't know who had actually posted that. I think Chad, and I can't remember his name for CBS, but that was the writer that talked about it. But again, there's a difference of a writer on a quota and just saying like potential trade targets, potential. It's one thing to say that, and it's another thing to blow it out of proportion and be like, oh, the Eagles trading Slay. The Eagles are going to trade him. It's okay. We got to just pump the brakes just a little bit. Ultimately, though, I don't think that, again, as of today, I don't think that Slay will get traded. But it could change if you start to see Slay is slipping a little bit more. He's not played great. But it's like a fine line of if he's not playing well, then what other team's going to sign up and be like, oh, he's allowing 120 passer rating. Sure, we'll sign up for him. He looks like he's got enough left. So that's where it feels like it's in between a rock and a hard place. The only way is if, I don't know, and even this would be difficult, but like maybe he goes down for a little bit. He's injured. Like he plays a little better for a game, but he gets injured for a couple games, and Zay gets to play. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, great. He played really well. Q played really well, and you for sure have your answer. But for some reason, the Eagles are yet to fully move on from there. So I don't know. Dirty Air, I do not watch any or very, very little auto racing. I don't know much about that at all, unfortunately. I wouldn't be opposed, I suppose. I don't have much of a knowledge for one. Breed of one, I agree. Hopefully we play Isaiah Moore, because if we lose him, I'm going to be heated for sure. Yes, Philly 420. Slay is still a captain, and he was talking about Q earlier today. I think the Eagles posted, or he reposted something too on Instagram for helping out Q and just talking through the other stuff. And he's been good for that. There's a difference of leading and captain versus being a good, helpful teammate and coaching someone along. He's been in the league for a while. He's got some skill. I don't mind saying that. Again, I called him out for the lack of leadership, and I still believe it that way from a character standpoint, from him taking accountability or not taking accountability. But yeah, he's made plays in this league. He's been good. He's not been great recently, and he's struggling a bit this year. But overall, like, the knowledge that he has to play that position, that's fine. Absolutely. Share it with Q. Just, hopefully Q keeps that dog mentality that he has. Oh, no way. Shoot for NASCAR drivers? Oh, that's got to be dope. Heck yeah, watching a lot of games from the track. Let's go. That's legit. So do you travel around for, I would assume you do if you're shooting for NASCAR. You travel around to the different races, like different locations? Brian, what if Jameis starts and throws for 400 yards? Good gosh, please no. They give you another opportunity to turn the ball over, but yeah, please no for the, quarterbacks seem to have a heyday whenever they play this Eagles defense for some reason, unfortunately. But Alfonso, how do I feel about Sidney Brown returning? Think he's going to be your X factor. I'm excited to see Sidney. I feel like it might be a slow build-up for him still. I know that he said, like, hey, I could have been back, or he feels like he could have been back like 6 months post-surgery, I believe. But, with that type of injury, you still have Reed, you still have CJ. CJ for sure needs to be better coverage-wise. But they don't have to necessarily rush it, so I feel like they'll slow play it with Sidney Brown. He doesn't have to get out there immediately. Let's see. Okay, yeah, not everyone, but 20 weeks or so a year. Wow, that's pretty legit. Well, I'm pretty close to the Texas Motor Speedway, so if you're ever shooting for those, I'm literally like probably 7 minutes away from the track. And actually, believe it or not, I've never been, but it's not that there's no interest. I just literally have no knowledge. I've never, like, even friends growing up or anything, just not ever had an intro to it, I guess. I can't imagine it. I'm seeing Jack saying, what's your favorite track? I can't imagine that's one of those up there. It feels like my very, very limited knowledge, but it feels like just a very generic track. But nonetheless, I'm super close to it. Marcus, there you go. I say this is an FSU fan. If Jameis throws for 400, there will be a turnover or two we should capitalize on. Yes, he is one of those. Absolutely, you can bank on it. But the hope is Deshaun Watson stays in there, and then you can capitalize on 180 yards a game, which he's averaging, and the fact that he will turn the ball over once or twice, maybe more. All right, I gave it a couple bit more of time for people that can actually get on the giveaway. Dirty, no way. VIPs next season. Let's go. If you're serious, I mean, I'll take you up on it. I've never been, but I've interested and obviously live super close. But if you're for real, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you got like the email and contact info, but yeah, email me or DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm not as fast at responding on Instagram. I know I'm bad about that, but all the socials are in the contact or about page. But yeah, just shoot me a note. However, but I'll take you up on that. Savage, you gotta go to the video. All right, real quick. I'm gonna give like 2 more minutes. There's the video. Go there. You can open it up in a new tab, or you can just go directly there, but enter QB1. That's all you gotta do. QB1, and then we're gonna spin. Fanny, sorry about that. Yes, we're gonna do the drawing very quickly. I had just a couple more comments last minute, and then we're gonna be good. By the way, just another thing to mention. I don't know why this reminded me. Actually, it did, because we saw the Jameis Winston and then the Brian stealing crab legs comment. But shout out to Good Chop. Got a deal with Good Chop, so more details to come in another video probably later this month. But there should be a code as far as some discounts that you guys can get, so I'll make sure and share that if anybody's interested. But I've had them before, have had a couple others, but it's nice to get a good quality one that I've used. But yeah, I'll make sure and share that. Carmen, yes, Thomas and I will be streaming live for the game. We will be doing that for sure. So early start though, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably be live like 10, 15 minutes before that. Let's see. I don't know what Ricky's talking about. That's a chat sports video. What's a chat sports video? I don't know what the link that I just shared is the one to the other one. All right, I'm gonna spin. I think I'm gonna spin now. I gave plenty of time. Everybody getting in on the giveaway. We'll update this thing here, and then I will share the screen and we will spin. So, all right, got that. Sharing the screen. Make sure this still works. There we go. Okay. Good luck to everybody. I think there's like 700 or 800 potentially. So this is for the jersey. Any jersey of your choice. And we're spinning. Good luck. Ricky, the link that I shared, I literally just clicked on it again to make sure that's my video. It's not a chat sports video. I don't know what you're talking about. Here we go. It is the winner, hopefully on the live stream. Come on. Anthony Oswald. There you go. I don't know if Anthony was on here. I'm trying to remember if we saw an Anthony. Maybe. Hopefully. Anthony Oswald with a QB1 comment. Congratulations, Anthony. You have won. I don't believe this is Anthony DeBona's burner. It could be. We'll have to make sure. Kramer, I know you're about to say it. That's fine. It is not rigged. But Anthony, as always, for all the giveaways, you have 1 week to claim any Eagles jersey of your choice. Just let me know which one you want. Email me at thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. And again, you have until next Friday. If you don't claim it until by next Friday, I will do a giveaway to someone on the chat. It'll be someone live on the chat. You guys will get the giveaway. But congrats to Anthony. You've got that week. And it could be a Saquon jersey, could be a Q jersey, could be whatever you want. So let me know. And also any midnight green, Kelly green. Kelly green's the kind of the automatic, but a few people have requested either a Kelly green or a white jersey. So let me know. Your chance. You got it. And yeah, I'll post it on the community page too. So for people that are doing that. Okay, Ricky, good. I'm glad you saw it already. Yeah, I mean, I just share it just to make sure because people are interested in making sure that they got in on the giveaway. But yeah, there were lots of like 738 entries, it looks like, when you remove some of the duplicates. But there you go. Anthony's got it. Congrats to him. All right, maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, and I'm going to jump off here. But any last-minute Q&A, any other topics? We will... Tim's saying white jersey is crazy. What, like they shouldn't have picked that one? Somebody wanted to. Kramer, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we try to do as many giveaways as possible. Again, shout out to Underdog, because theirs is the biggest help, the official sponsor of the channel, but could not do it without you guys. So y'all make it possible, and just try to give back as much as I can. Cheesesteak, are you starting something there because I said this, or is this just a random comment? But you say you hear the Penguin series is good? Yeah, been I started the first episode like a day or two ago. It is really good. Colin Farrell is unbelievable. I did not actually think that was him. I had to go check IMDb afterwards. Marcus, do the jerseys you give out have to be current players, or can we time travel back and get us a Randall Cunningham? I mean, it doesn't necessarily like we could do the custom jersey. So I think that would work, right? Like we could make it whatever we want to. Yeah. I mean, it as much as, I mean, within reason, I guess. Like if it's the same cost-wise, we could probably figure out a way to do that. But most everybody's going with current or like just retire. Like I've had, I think, a Kelsey request. So yeah, we'll definitely have that. Dirty Air, they still sell Cunningham jerseys still. That's true. Yep. I honestly haven't looked in a while, so I don't know what my cost-wise, but assuming we can do that. Weosaurus, the customs are, I think they're like 160. I think they're like $30 or $40 more than like a standard jersey, but usually they're all good. Kramer, so far Hurricanes not impact anything in Texas. I think it's off the path. So nothing here. But prayers for everybody in Florida and being impacted on the East Coast and everything there. It looked like that was very serious, but okay, there we go. If you scroll far enough, Dawkins, Cunningham, Jaws. Yeah, B-Doc is... If I was going to go vintage, it's probably where I'm going with, but... Sorry, Michael, I missed your comment. Will Ainias Smith get a roster spot? Who gets cut for him? I don't know. That's interesting. We'll see. They've got, I believe, one more. So if they've got... or one more spot. So you might hear it in terms of tomorrow, I would imagine. But also with Sidney Brown there. So potentially either you have a cut or you've got someone that's being elevated. I feel like they may slow play it with Ainias Smith. Although there's the counter argument to that of just saying like, well, Cooper DeJean's going to play in the nickel, so you need someone to start as the punt returner. So I don't know, just something to keep an eye on. I feel like now that I say that in terms of punt returner, you can go a different direction. You could elevate John Ross in the practice squad. I don't know how serious Ainias Smith's ankle injury was. If it was actually legit or a little gamesmanship from Howie Roseman to keep him on the roster. Yeah. Kind of go back and forth on that, actually. Breed of One, thank you. Appreciate that. You have my respect in Texas as an Eagles fan. Okay. Dirty Art, why not Isaiah for punt return? He could. Yeah, he definitely could. I mean, he's doing kick returns, but for some reason, just based on the hierarchy of like how they were doing it in the preseason, it felt like he was behind behind Ainias Smith. So that's why I said him. But, I mean, if they're not going to play him, because there could be a little bit more of like nickel and dime packages against Cleveland, but ultimately, yeah, it's a possibility. Really, for me, it's whatever gets him on the field. Like, he's too athletic, he's too fast, he's got speed that's going to change the game. You saw even though it didn't matter, but you saw the kick return from the Seahawks last night, and like, come on, we need a little bit of a spark. So definitely with kick returns, hopefully for punt returns too. Gosh, Carmen, I hate to hear that. I'm just seeing that comment. Whole house shook for hours and neighbors lost part of their homes. Gosh, that's terrible. So sorry to hear that. Yeah, like Jack said, yeah, definitely thoughts and prayers your way, your neighbor's way, and everybody affected. That's definitely serious. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing the other comment. Reed saying they're gonna stop smiling in everybody's face. Okay, so I'm gonna have to see or hear that comment, but I'm assuming that is in reference to maybe the mic'd up footage that got released, and I don't know. Maybe seeing the guys that were too like Slay and Avonte Maddox and just the two friendly conversations. I don't know if maybe Fangio saw that. I'm gonna have to go look at it because I've totally missed it. I haven't seen it yet, so can't necessarily speak to that. But all right, I'm gonna jump off. We're here about an hour and a half. So again, congrats to Anthony Oswald for the win on the jersey. I will post it. Intellectual, appreciate it. Yeah, it's in the interview. Okay, I'll go check it out. Birds fan, new subscriber, saw you on Jacob Sports. Thank you for that. But yes, again, reminder: Thomas and I will be streaming live during the game. If y'all want to come hang out, little watch party, and Anthony will have a week to claim the jersey. If he does not, as always, I will give it away live to everybody here. But a blast as always. Friday night hangout. Probably will have another video coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But as always, you guys are the best. Have a good one, and you know what it is. Go Birds.